Hello and thanks for checking out TheChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hello, Canadian MJ friends. I know you're doing well. Don't have to ask. Blue sky breakouts all around. We got those 4-hour tightening patterns breaking bullish right to start the morning. We could see the strength pre-market, and the bulls certainly followed through. Huge day in terms of the price action today. We saw the low of the day in the 46s, high of the day up at 52. So we ended up going over $6, which is about a 15% move. And just looking at the size of the moves we've seen on the way up, this is one of the biggest green days that we've seen. Aside from that gap up day, but aside from that, definitely a big day. So where do we stand from here? Obviously, the bulls have full control. We're looking for strength and a new all-time high tomorrow. Would certainly be surprising if we did not get that. But what we need to be anticipating for the next time we see consolidation, because in order to see this consolidation that we know is coming eventually, and again, we're talking just healthy consolidation considering the fact that we did just see a significant move since the last period we consolidated. It's going to be a blow off top kind of consolidation. We're not just going to, slow down and see one of these rounded tops where we trade sideways and then see a bear break. It's going to be one of those maximum pushes and then complete 180 turnaround with profit taking kind of days. We just don't know when it is. So just be aware that that is the kind of consolidation we are most likely to see next. And it's likely going to be a day that starts looking extremely strong before the quick 180 turnaround. So that's something I'm going to be keeping an eye out for, because I will be looking to play that move bearish because that has significant gains. Obviously, it's a lot easier to trade with the trend, but I'm looking to trade in both directions. So right now I am bullish. I did swing a position in CGC overnight. Blue sky breakout, all-time high, strong close. That's pretty much as comfortable as you can be in a swing position. And it's just psychological resistance levels. 53, 54 for CGC heading into tomorrow. And for WEED, we're going to be looking at psychological resistance levels of 70, 71, 72. We did get an upgrade, and I believe the 72 price target on WEED. So let's see if we get up to that point. Bottom line is bulls are in full control, but we don't have a ton of support nearby. The 4-hour time frame have not consolidated in a while. The hourly chart, last higher low was 48.27 here on CGC, so almost 10% to go. And for WEED, that support level is 63.64. So that's the only real clear support that we have to go off of right now. And again, if we start with a gap up open tomorrow and see a quick 3 to 5% push first thing, I'm absolutely going to be locking in my profit very quickly and be conservative up at that point, because that will be a little bit too much euphoria for me personally. But if you're in a long-term position, you have absolutely nothing to worry about at this point. The daily chart is not going to break the higher low pattern anytime soon. And again, the next consolidation that we do see, we will anticipate that the chart is just going to form another daily higher low unless there was some kind of significant bearish news associated with it. So, and actually look at this chart. So previous resistance, 48.19, hourly support, 48.27, right around that same area. And I didn't visually pick that out until just now. But previous resistance acting as support. Cool to see that happen. And we'll see how much more upside we can get tomorrow. Again, when we see a kind of day like today, I then get conservative. I then no longer play as aggressively as a bull. I will take profit sooner, and that's just me not wanting to give back the gains from today. So APH also saw some significant follow through. We're not in blue sky breakout, but obviously the bulls are in full control. 1795 is resistance that we are already broke above. 1872 is the next level that stands out. And after 1872, 19 psychological and 20 psychological. So a lack of resistance, bulls in full control, 5 green days in a row. Same thing. I mean, the correlations between these sectors are so strong at this point that we are very likely to see everybody pull back and consolidate at the same time. So we're watching for that blow off top for everyone. And as far as the last hourly higher low goes for APH, 1777 for the bulls to remain in full control. We've got our couple of resistance levels to be watching and significant moves for the APH bulls as well. ACB clearly is not participating, trading sideways. Must be a big bummer for the longs of ACB. I feel your pain. But we've got a range of 860 support and resistance of $9 and 910. So that's the range to be watching. Break 860 and we're looking down at 818. Break 9 and 910 and we're looking at the top of the move of 938. So we had a 1.7% green day. Normally that'd be just fine, but when you're looking at your peers going double-digit percent, it definitely stings. So 860. Again, we have rebalancing of these ETFs coming up, and there's a good article going around about that rebalancing, just in terms of what to expect and what HMMJ is going to have to trim in terms of keeping names under, I believe it's 7% for HMMJ and 10% for MJ. Might be the other way around, but check out that article. Get Googling and look up MJ ETF rebalance. And we're going to be seeing that the start of this week. But if this bullish action keeps up, then that obviously is not going to have much of an impact. So let's see. We'll do Cron. I just want to touch back on the correlations again, because again, it was so significant. This consolidation low for CGC, and we compare it to the S&P 500. And again, it's not a tick-for-tick correlation with SPY, but you better believe it is a factor. The low of the day for the S&P 500 today was hit at about 1220 and 1225. The low of consolidation was 1210. So we hit the low of consolidation, SPY hit the low of the day, and then look at SPY the second half of the day. It was just all bull, slow and steady on the 5-minute time frame, and CGC mirrored that pretty significantly. And then at the end of the day, once 3 o'clock hit, we went inverse to each other. That correlation broke. So that's what I'm talking about with the correlations breaking all the time, but very significant just in terms of multiple times the last few days. And I'm not going to go back and look at them all, but multiple times the low of consolidation is when SPY hits its low of the day. So you definitely want to be watching to see what SPY is doing. And we have a situation now. I'll go to Cron in just a second, but Citron's going after TLRY again, and we anticipated, I think I said I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen, and here they are doing it. And they made their short entry, and they're in a bit of trouble because, again, there's a couple of reasons I think they're in trouble. Number one, Cron had a lot more short shares available for their followers to jump in with. For TLRY, there's not as many shorts available. It's a much less liquid stock, so people are going to be having to play options to try and short it, much more than common shares, and those options don't have any effect on the price in the sense that they're not adding any supply of shares into the market. So the bulls can hold on just fine, and obviously the correlation to TLRY and CGC was tick for tick today. So same thing with SPY, obviously. SPY hit that low of the day, and both TLRY and CGC hit the low of their consolidation. So we're now seeing shorts trapped. Absolutely shorts are trapped because we did hit a new all-time high after their attack did come out. And correlations are going to rule here. If we see CGC continue strong, TLRY is very likely to continue strong as well. And that's going to make some shorts pay for it. And I did enter some puts when that TLRY attack from Citron came out, just in the hopes of seeing anything like we saw on Cron. And it didn't end up playing out, so ended up taking a small loss. And I play much smaller capital positions in options because of the liquidity and just it's not as favorable a trading environment as common shares are. But for TLRY, the hourly support here is at 70.01, right above 70 psychological, and a bunch of resistance tests right at the 78 psychological all-time high. So we got to 77.67, 78, and then 77.54 here during extended hours. So overall, the bulls still have full control, and we're going to have to see either SPY weakness lead to sector consolidation or one of these blow-off tops that I'm talking about, and it's a temporary top just leading to daily consolidation, that we're going to have to see that in order for this short to pan out for Citron on TLRY. We could very easily see a higher open tomorrow. I do think there's going to be some extra added downward pressure. I do believe that the shorts are going to try during extended hours to have a bit more influence. But if CGC sees a 5% day tomorrow, TLRY is going to see blue sky as well, very likely. So again, it's just stepping in front of a speeding train. And just as a rule of thumb, I try and avoid shorting blue sky bulls for obvious reasons due to lack of resistance and the ability of the bulls to recover and shake off any kind of weakness. And today, the reason I did jump in was, again, because of that Citron short. Cron has some action after hours. We've got their CEO on CNBC, probably about right when this video is going to get uploaded. And we're seeing a little bit of action after hours. We're up 1% or so. Not very significant, but we're going to be looking for a lower high to form on Cron. And that's just because we have our high, a lower high at 1279, and we're going to look for a lower high compared to 1279. So we could still see some strength tomorrow, absolutely, but I would be much more cautious in Cron, even more so than CGC and these other runaway bulls, just because we do still have resistance. And we have a V-shaped recovery. Let's look at it on the 4-hour time frame. But the odds of seeing this kind of V-shaped recovery all the way back to the upper $12 range is not likely. The bulls are going to likely see a lower high set somewhere. They're going to have to pull back and form a higher low and then try and get the bull break. So the fact that we have bounced from $8.54, and if you include extended hours, it was $8 pretty much. So from $8 all the way up to 11 something, we're seeing a 40% bounce in just a couple days. So we're likely to set that lower high. And bears are likely going to be looking for a top fishing play for that entry. I would rather play Cron bearish than CGC, as CGC is a blue sky bull and Cron is not, and we have resistance just from last week right here to be watching. So just looking at the short term, support is 1078 followed by 1061, 2 levels to be watching. Bulls want to see a break of 1141 first thing, but just keep in mind that even if we do get a bull break, that would make me scouting that bearish entry, potential bearish entry, even harder the closer we get to these clear resistance levels, because the closer you get, the lower the risk is. If I'm looking to short at $12, my resistance is $12.79. If I'm looking to short at $12.50, it's much less of a move before I would get stopped out. So bulls definitely correlating as well. A little bit of weakness, not as much strength, just in terms of the amount of follow through we did see today during the regular trading day. But overall, still healthy for the bulls, still correlated, but I would anticipate a bit more consolidation once we do see sector-wide consolidation. And wrapping it up with N, huge follow-through today. So N on the weekly time frame, 257, break that level, and there's a lack of resistance. 3 psychologicals after 257. Doesn't mean we're going to shoot straight up to that level, because obviously we're very extended here as well. Huge volume today, close at the high of the day. We're looking for more tomorrow. So it's all about 257 and then psychological levels, 260, 270, 280, so on and so forth. Hourly support levels, actually more clear on the 15-minute here. I'm looking at 243 and then down to 239. Those are the most important short-term levels. And this is another one where, if I were in a position and comfortably profitable, I personally would be walking up stop losses, because again, you look at this chart and say, all right, what are the odds that N is going to be trading below 250 again? And the odds are very likely. So I wouldn't mind locking in that profit and then being able to reload lower on a name that is extremely overbought. And again, that's my game plan for CGC. I'm going to be looking to lock in my swing, ideally with some profit tomorrow morning on morning strength. And you can there's plenty of ways to be doing it. Either trailing stops where the stop loss walks up with the price, or a break-even stop and letting it run as much as it can, or locking in profit into strength, just knowing that you will be able to reload once we do get some consolidation. So obviously euphoria is still in full effect here. The bulls are in complete control, on absolute fire. Valuations are completely out the window at this point. It does not matter. Right now we're seeing a mad dash to hold shares, and there's a limited supply of these shares. It's all about supply and demand. So if there's more demand than there is supply, the price is going to run up to levels that do not make sense for market cap, which is why in the short term, market cap does not matter and fundamentals do not matter. In the long term, absolutely, they matter a whole lot more, but hype and emotion trump fundamentals and market cap when you're looking short term. And obviously, I'm looking short term here and just taking it one day at a time. So I appreciate you all watching. Again, congrats. Don't spend all your imaginary gains in one place, because they are not real until you hit that sell button. And there's no need to hit that sell button if you're in a long-term position. But again, the one thing you don't want to be doing is assuming that this money is now yours. So have a great day. Let's see what tomorrow brings. I don't know if I can keep this up all week. It was a pretty exhausting day, in a good way. See you soon. The Chart Guys. Technical analysis. No FUD, no FOMO. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. All-time high.
Let's get off.
Trade like a robot. Higher low, lower high. Are we in a bubble? versus the Bears. Stick to the chart. All-time high.